Wes, why don't you explain to them how we're doing this right now?
Oh, you're already talking as if it started? I didn't even get to say hi to everybody. Welcome to the
tell
bottom
them
of the barrel. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put up a picture of our setup here. I got it from me and Chris. We're not in the same room. I know we've tricked you guys, but we're not in the same room. Chris is his place, his office. I'm in my corner, my little hole. And we got Chris Ramsay, everybody. Here he is. Look at this guy.
Up?
What a beauty. But we've gone above and beyond here to make this better than just two stupid FaceTimes, okay? We've really set this up for you guys. We got Chris on a tripod. I'm on a tripod in his place. It's real. It's all Chris's idea, and I think it's smart.
It is pretty smart. I think this is the new way of virtual podcasting, to be fair. I think that people are doing it wrong. Well, all you see normally is like Zoom podcasts like this, and people are like, hey, what's up, Bob? And it's like all choppy.
Two faces straight ahead, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
well, anyone who's not doing it like this isn't putting in the effort. That's all this is, for sure.
That's right. There might be some ambient noise of a dump truck going on in the background, so you might have to mute that out, but
and we both have our AirPods in because that's just the way this works best. Don't ask if you don't understand.
So I can hear him, but you can hear him on his mic. You can't hear him on my mic. So it's a pretty clever setup.
I'd say. I would never thought of it. So, yeah, this is good. And now we get to hang out together, finally. Like, we do this every day anyways, so this is going to be 100%.
Good. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to start with going through the Two Truths, One Lie from last week. You probably don't know what they were.
What were they?
It was all about when I went to Vietnam, and one was about me getting stuck between the border between Vietnam and Laos. No one would let me through either side. I got bit by a spider, and the other one was running out of gas in the middle of the jungle.
You got bit by a spider is a lie, 100%.
That's the lie.
You would have told me that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? A lot of people guessed it this time, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely the first two people to get it was Somia Shri and Ari Bisk. So you guys are in the vibrator race now. I got to do the vibrator race real quick here, Chris. And see who wins.
That sound in the background is not a vibrator, by the way. That's my coffee machine turning off. Sounds like I've already got a vibrator race going back here. Well, that's all we do.
All right, I'm gonna race. I'm gonna race these guys real quick. So, Somia, you're on the left. Ari, you're on the right, and let's race. Okay. Oh, Ari on the right, taking an early lead. Ari on the right-hand side, neck and neck. They're fighting their way down there. Still Ari in the lead. Oh, the course opens up a little bit. Okay, Somia taking it. Oh, they're really bucking. They're hitting each other. Ari staying in front. Somia's pushing hard on the left side. Somia pushing hard. Oh, she's coming up. On the left. She's going to pass him. No, she's not going to pass him. Ari's last second. Hard sprint.
No idea what's happening.
Ari hard sprint, and Ari wins it. Okay, Ari Bisk.
Yeah,
Write
Ari.
a comment, and I'll pin you. You're going to be pinned, so say what you want. Yeah, thanks. Good job. Congratulations. Good job getting it right. And nice race with the vibrators there. Whew. These are stressful races, and they never the same vibrator wins twice. It's kind of crazy.
No, the last one was a cliffhanger. I watched that one. You had those guys just this guy was just like fishtailing them, and then just last second ran off the cliff.
It seemed impossible. I was genuinely.
It was great content.
It's a horse race. Oh fuck. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this with me. You just dropped a huge puzzle the other day. That was insane.
Yeah, the biggest of puzzles, actually.
Yeah, of all time, of the history of puzzles, probably.
Of the history of puzzles, I believe. Yeah.
No one who watches this didn't watch your puzzle, I'm sure. I don't think I have a single fan that Chris doesn't already have.
That was one. You know what? That was one of those videos that people who even don't like the puzzles, they still kind of watch that one. So that's, I think, why it's doing so well. Is that a lot of people can't sit through me fiddling around with like a lock or something, but this one I think appealed to a lot of people. So.
Well, the one thing I'll say about you're one of those few YouTubers where your clickbait is actually real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it sounds like, what do you mean a $20,000 puzzle? And it's like looks all crazy, and then you get there and it's like, no, that's what it is. It's crazy.
It's 100%.
And then honestly, my wife will just tune in just for the intros, and then she's like, okay, I'm good. But that's
why
fine.
I make them longer now. So that,
oh yeah, she'd watch them. You can make them 8 minutes. She'd watch them.
I get that viewer retention.
Yeah, so good. This is one thing I wanted to ask you actually, because this happened to me yesterday. Is Chris and I are filming another video together, and I started losing my mind because I couldn't. I'm not a very good video guy. I don't really understand cameras well. I have trouble with this. Anyways, that's one thing that'll frustrate me when I'm making YouTube. And I started just having a meltdown. And Kristen's like, why don't we just stop, have a cup of coffee, and we'll come back to this later?
Yeah.
I've never really done that, but it helps so much. Do you ever do that? Do you ever just have to like walk away for a while?
Yeah, it happens all the time actually.
Oh, okay, that's good.
One thing for me is that I get hangry if I don't eat. I get hangry like crazy. Like I need to eat.
I knew that about
So,
you.
yeah. So like, if I'll usually like we'll start filming at around 10:30, and we'll get the brunt of the work done by around noon. But sometimes it'll carry on to like 1, 2, and then in that case, that's usually when I'm like, don't fucking talk to me right now. Like I get so frustrated with the minor things. Like even Lee knows. He's like, hey man, you want a half of my sandwich? I'm like, fuck, give me the sandwich.
Man, at least you know that about yourself. I'm like a child. I don't even realize why I'm losing my mind. I'm just yeah. Yesterday, Kristen fed me pie and gave me coffee, and then and
everything was all
I came
good.
back and I was like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good.
you definitely need that. I think in any vocation, I think you get treated like work, I guess, and just have your lunch ready. We're like normally like I only see Lee now like once a week because of this quarantine thing. We try to keep it really minimal, only when I really need his help, and then we keep our distance and whatnot. But normally me, him, and Antoine are here, and we're out like at noon. I'll be like, all right, what are we eating? There's 20 restaurants around us, so Antoine will go get something to eat, or we'll all go out together, and we have this thing. So now it's like if I don't pack a lunch, I'm not eating.
Yeah, it's true because you can't just go.
Yeah.
Man, this lockdown's fucked up. I've never eaten so many home cooked meals. Luckily, Kristen's an amazing cook. That's why I've been losing weight, man. I'm like not eating deep fried bullshit and drinking pints every day for lunchtime.
I can't wait. God,
Till I get fat again?
Oh no, I just can't wait to get out there and have some deep fried, friggin' some deep fried cauliflower and wings and a pint of opaque beer that I can't see through that makes me fat. I love that.
I just want to order a beer and that it comes in a glass. I don't want to open anything. Just hand it to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't even. Yeah. Oh, buddy.
On a little used coaster.
It's gross how often we would do that before though. Like I was just eating out like 10 times a week.
I mean, people, it's crazy, man. Like, just even the thought of, like, after all of this, we're going to have to go back to normalcy somehow. And the thought of that is so crazy to me right now. Because if I were to tell you, like, yesterday, I ran into a stranger and shook his hand, you're going to be like, are you fucking insane? Yeah. Right? Like, that is the craziest thing you've ever heard all day, bar none.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, flashback to a month ago when we were in Vegas, and we were literally, like, at one point, I think someone licked your face.
Yeah.
I think.
Remember
Gilles? Okay.
Yeah.
So Gilles, buddy of ours, was with us, and he was like, on the second day, he's like, man, I got a cold, right? And we're all joking. We're like, you got the Rona. Rona. We're all laughing. He's like, no, it's just a cold, a little bit feverish, right? So we're all hanging out. I remember specifically we were at One Oak, and this is like the last night One Oak was even open. Like that shit is closed down forever now. But like we were there, and I remember like we had bottle service. We had all these like drinks. They cost like an exorbitant amount of money.
I'm hugging people I just met. I don't know.
Yeah,
what's up?
And I grab a drink, and I start drinking. I realize it's Gilles' drink, and I'm like, oh, whatever. Put it back down. Fast forward, turns out he had coronavirus.
That's crazy.
Gilles had coronavirus.
And how you didn't get it from that, I don't know.
And so the thing is, when I went back home, I did have like a half day of fever. And I remember you did too. We kind of all felt like a little off. And that could have been
normal
like the
for a
jet
bender
lag,
in
the
Vegas.
partying, you know what I mean? And so I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't lose like my sense of taste or smell. He did. You know, so he was in quarantine. I obviously came back home. It was in quarantine for like 3 weeks. I locked myself down for like 3 weeks. So, thankfully I did that because I could have given it to someone else.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure I had it.
I had 3 gigs when I got home. That weekend I got home, and they hadn't canceled yet. And I didn't go. I canceled them, and the guy that I canceled on was like, "Oh, what?" And I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm kind of sick. I shouldn't do it." And at the time he was still judging me. Like he's like, "Okay, man, like you're taking this a little bit too far." But I'm so glad I canceled them because
good for you.
I just like shut it down. I passed them off to Chris Mayhew, and he crushed them anyway, so it didn't matter. I didn't leave the guy hanging high and dry, right? Like I gave him another guy to.
Good
perform.
for you. I think a lot of people would have just taken the gig, and I think a lot of people did that. I've seen magicians, like when we got back, a lot of them were still like on tour. I mean, Darcy Oak was still in England.
Yeah.
Like there was things still going on. In my head, was just starting to wrap my head around what the fuck is going on, because 3 weeks prior I was like, this thing's gonna blow over. Like, people die of the flu all the time. Like, I think we all kind of had that mentality at one point.
Yeah.
And then that shift was so dramatic where I was like, holy shit. Don't fucking breathe on me, you know.
March 10th, I'm making fun of Eric's girlfriend for spraying Purell on all our hands, and by March 12th, I'd lost 4 months worth of gigs.
Yeah,
2 days.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's
whoa,
crazy.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, that dynamic is definitely going to shift when we get back into like going out or just even performing. Like, I mean, I think that a lot of bars and restaurants are going to have a law, like the government's going to set a law in place where, you know, half capacity maximum. And like a chair between everybody, like I think that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, that'll definitely be how they wean back in. Is like, there's
going to be a lot of like social awkward dynamics going on, like shaking someone's hand when you're like, hey, nice to meet you, and they just go, and you're like, oh, like that's going to happen a lot.
I wonder if, I mean, I almost wanted the opposite too. Like, I'm lucky that, you know, I live with my wife. I'm not starved for human contact, but a lot of people don't have that, and they're like literally haven't touched another human being in weeks. I wonder if they're like, is that going to make you weird? It's got to.
I think to a certain extent there definitely is. Like, even when Lee comes into the office, we're like, I bow now. Bowing's a thing for me. Some people elbow bump, some people go like this, right? Yeah. I literally just bow, and I think, you know, they're onto something, those Asians with the bowing, right? So I'm doing that from now on. But I walking past Lee, like, it's weird, right? Because he's got to get by, and like maybe we're in a tight quarter, and he's like, and we're just like trying to like not breathe on each other's face while we're going by. Like, it's a weird dynamic. There's a weird thing there for sure.
Ah, jeez, man. Yeah, I don't know. I just think I ignore people for the rest of my life. I'm famous now. I've got that one good video. I'm famous, so I don't care anymore.
Dude, that video popped. That video. Fucking slammed.
Okay, I told these guys last time that I was going to be on BuzzFeed probably, and then I was. You probably didn't watch it, but they heavily featured my hair on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they got like 3 million followers, and like, because at one point, because it was a pre-recorded thing, I just recorded a video, and at one point Chris made a joke about it, and I like turned around, and of course that's one of the only clips they kept. Like, obviously not being a hairdresser at home or whatever, and like, it was bad, man.
Yeah, it still is.
No, it's good. It's looking good now, guys. I cleaned it up.
You literally look like you're getting tracks put in. You look like, you know what? You look like you're getting a skin graft in the back of your head. I remember who. Oh, okay. So here's a true story. This is kind of funny. I was with the illusionist and Brad Christian.
Yeah.
Right. So he was my boss at the time, and we were in L.A. filming How to Be a Magician, this project, and he just had his hair graft going on, like his hair transplant, right? Which is a normal thing in LA. People with money, they get it done. And I'm like, no judgment. Like, dude, if you got the money for it and it's something you want to do, I'm totally, like, people get new teeth all the time, obviously. You know, people who need it and don't need it just get new teeth. Like, it's an LA thing, right? So I'm not, but the funny part is that, like, I remember taking a photo of him, and he was like sitting down, is like from the back, and you clearly see this like,
this line,
this stripe in the back of his head, this like stripe where it's like it's just not as, the hair is not as long, right? And it looks like the side of your head. And I remember him telling me, like, Chris, can you Photoshop that to make it look like, you know, I got hair? That was wild. I was like, yeah, you're
my boss.
Me? He was like,
sure.
Yeah. I was like, all right, yeah, fine, I'll do it.
Man, yeah, I know that's what I look like, but I'm trying, man. I even touched it up again today. I'm trying to, I don't know. I should just stop touching it, is what you're saying?
I feel like it's getting worse. I feel like the longer it grows, the worse it's getting.
Well, what can I do now? I'm stuck. This is my hair now. Leave me alone.
Shave it off.
Yeah. Well, never.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
You're looking more and more like Ellen DeGeneres every time I see you.
Oh, well, there's worse. I got nothing.
All right, so let's talk about online gigs for a second.
Oh yeah, Chris watched one of my online shows.
You had an online show a couple nights ago. Me, Eric, and Alex all tuned in. I actually shared it on my Instagram and got you some people in there watching it. It was for Brock University.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as you shared it on your Instagram, I immediately started sweating.
Yeah,
because they're telling me like, oh, no one really tunes into these. There'd be like 20 people. There's like over 100 people because Chris shared it just once. He just mentioned it once, and I was like, oh man, it was a fun show.
Just performing for magicians the entire time.
Yeah, literally just.
It was great, man. Like I've said this to you a couple weeks ago that as soon as this thing started going down and people started booking these online gigs, I'm like, this is a new thing. This is a new form, a new platform for artists, right? And I'm not talking just magicians, comedians, any type of stage performer can adapt to performing online in front of people. But there's advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. The disadvantages are obviously there's no real audience interaction, so you can't really, do any crowd work. Yeah. But the advantages are you have this square to work with. And everything that's not in the square, this is like Buster Keaton used to say, if the camera can't see it, it doesn't exist, right? So you can use all sorts of things. So if like my hand comes out from here, I can make it come out. I can make it come out from here type thing. Like there's all these things you can play with. I can put a cutout of me or a mirror, so you're looking at a reflection the whole time. There's all these really cool things that people aren't thinking of right now, but it's a brand new thing. And I think that if obviously this thing is being taken serious by everyone, I think that if someone, it hasn't been done yet to my knowledge, but if someone develops an actual show, I'm not saying that yours wasn't an actual show, but like an actual show that could not be performed any other way, except for the phone, I think if you develop that can actually become a sellable package for performers in any vocation.
No matter what no matter what's going on. I honestly, when she said it to me, it made so much sense, and I've been working like hours a day trying to figure out some version of that, and that's the difference. A show that couldn't be performed any other way. That's so key, because what I did the other day, that's just the best.
Could have been done in real life. Actually, would have probably been better in real life. And you need to find
years of experience from that, so I'm used to that. But you're totally right. The one thing that you control 100% of the narrative in this situation, which is so important if you jump at that chance. I excel as a performer by the opposite. I like the uncertainty and what's going on in the room. Yeah. But if you can be like, no, I get 100%, nothing can go wrong. I just get to go right here.
You can make it seem like a recording.
I know,
which is hilarious. You can be like, hey, John, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Like, nobody knows there isn't a John commenting. There's all these factors that people haven't thought of. Like,
that's so funny. Like, name an artist 1 in 100. Oh, 71. Great. First one.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And then you could also like be like, all right, you thought this show was great. Well, this is all just an illusion, and you take away the mirror and you're actually back there, or you take away the cutout, or there's like things in the background that you can just like that you can grab like impossibly. Like there's all these different things. And you the other day, this is something you didn't do in your show, which I thought you would. You had like a laugh track and an applause track on your computer, and I thought that is so genius, because that makes up for that lack of sound and that lack of ambience that we have as performers. That you had it on your computer, and you would have just been like, all right, so and then it goes boo, and you're like, oh, wrong button, ha 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 ha, yeah, right, and it's so funny, dude.
That's what I was gonna do through OBS, but I couldn't figure it out. But I should have just played it from my computer, just from in real life anyway. Is what I should have done. So,
but if somebody, like I said, if somebody takes the time, really takes the time right now, and figures this thing out, they can have a sellable package. They can make thousands of dollars for a show.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, man. I think you're absolutely right. I think I'm going to get pretty close. I have 4 more coming up in the next like 2 weeks. I have 4 more. So I think
you're
I'm
getting more gigs now than you were before.
Yeah, about the same. No, maybe more. Actually, maybe more.
and they're not like $100 gigs either. They're like,
they're not cheap, but they're not what honestly, the price right now, because the show isn't as good as my live show yet, so the price is lower for sure. But they're not nothing. They're worth doing for sure.
They're worth doing from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I make a fucking mess in here though.
Usually you're out there, you're traveling, you're gone for 2 days just to travel.
Yeah,
you're packing your stuff. You got to buy plane tickets. You got to get the hotel. Now, totally. I mean, if you figure out the costs here, you're probably.
It depends how you look at your life. I mean, I get to go someplace. I get to go to a hotel. I get to have a reason to eat French fries and burgers.
I see. Yeah,
I get some alone time.
Yeah,
my house is pretty small.
Man, I miss it. I miss hanging out with you guys so much.
Dude,
I've never been home.
Yeah, I've never been home so long and not come and seen you. Like I would never be home for 3 weeks and not be like, oh, I'll go see Chris now.
Dude, like me, you, Eric, and Alex, like just hanging out. Even just me and you when we were doing those pitch meetings. So a couple months ago, we're selling a TV show right now.
Damn right.
So that's public knowledge. We know that and we had a network actually buy a pilot, or in the process of buying a pilot that we're going to be shooting. And the show is, I can't talk about what it's about, but it does revolve around our banter and our sort of just camaraderie between the four of us, which is going to be great. But me and Wes were the ones who had to pitch the show to all these networks. So we did Comedy Central, MTV, True TV, A&E. What else do we do?
CW, Google,
CW,
or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, YouTube. So we did all these meetings in a couple weeks in LA and New York, and it was just me and Wes. And we would, the night before, we would always go to like the Comedy Store or the New York Comedy Club and just literally get drunk till like 3 in the morning. We had to be up at 7, but listening to great comedy and just hanging out and drinking.
And just you and me, man, like I laughed so hard. Both LA and New York, I was just dying laughing. You and me, like, oh man, the more we hang out, the more I like hanging out. That's like the opposite 100%. Of some of my friends. Some of my friends more hang out. I'm like, let's take a break.
yeah, I think I've had enough of you for like a year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll wait till you mature.
Yeah,
we can hang out.
But
again.
We still got to talk to Eric sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
imagine Alex at one of those comedy clubs. Just I don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. No, he would be laughing because he sees us laughing. Like looks around. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Alex has got so many shout-outs right now. He's like, stupid me, I didn't empty my card, so that filled up a whole SD card, and I had to restart. So if I'm a little bit in a different position or whatever, you didn't miss anything.
Fucking amateur.
I'm trying to do better. All right, it's all good. It gave Chris time to put his pants back on. I don't know what you're doing over there, but that's imagine. Are you? Yeah, you're from the waist up right now, so we should have done this with no pants on.
Dude, I'm matching all the way through. Look at this. I got the black and yellow and orange going on.
Oh yeah, you got rocking your own hat. That's good. You got to like your own.
Are you rocking that shirt you bought from All Saints that one time?
Yeah, that's right. No, not this one. No, this one's from Simon's. It says like and subscribe and follow and stuff on it. So just so people remember.
Does it really?
Yeah. Dude, I'm shameless.
Just dude.
Remember that time in your video where I drove that remote control car that said subscribe to Wes on it?
Yeah, to the background of my videos.
Every one of us.
I feel like you as much as Spidey buys merch with skulls on it, yours has to have like subscribe on it.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
If you had a wallet chain that had subscribe on the wallet, you'd buy it.
Yeah, I'm shameless, man, and it's working. It's working. Sort of.
It is working, man. You're crushing it right now.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Seriously though, like this is the other thing is that like especially you and me, well, especially you and Eric, I feel, you as a performer and Eric as a performer, like a professional performer, you've always had that crutch to be like, I'm not fully invested in YouTube or an online, whatever, because I'm booking these gigs, which is not only an excuse, it's the best excuse. You're working, you're making money, and you're also uploading on the side, which is great. But now you are 100% forced to make a living through the internet, which is fucking crazy. And so is Eric. You, on the other hand, have actually, taken that so seriously. And I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
like,
man.
From the day that we were in quarantine, you were pumping out videos every day, getting up early, going to bed late, editing, jamming on ideas. We call each other just to jam on ideas, and you've been crushing it, dude.
Buddy, you know what's so crazy is I appreciate you saying that, but it's been so crazy. Like, it seems like a horrible thing to say, but like I've been waiting for an excuse to do this. I'm like guilt-free, get to do the thing I've been talking about wanting to do for so long. Since I quit my day job to be a performer, I've been like, man, I want an excuse to not be on the road because I'm always saying, oh, I'm too busy. Now I'm not busy. Yeah. And I've literally made more videos in the 26 days I've been quarantined than I probably made all last year.
In a year, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I believe it.
I love it.
The other thing is that a lot of people doing gigs and the YouTube at the same time. I've always heard the excuse, like they've tried the YouTube and they see that it's not really working. Yeah. And then they're kind of like, well, it's because I'm performing. When in reality, it's just like your content's not that good.
Yeah, it takes 100 videos just to be bad at it.
Exactly. You need to 100% focus on it. But a lot of those people were like, I'm a performer. Then they decide I'm a performer. I'm not. But now now people are like scrambling, and it's so funny to me because magicians, used to be like, you're not going to be able to make a living online. Online magic's not real. You have to perform for real people. And now all these same people are putting up lectures on how to perform, online, and they're scrambling at the bit because they can't make any money performing. And I think it's hilarious.
Oh, it's so
because it's so funny to me because before you're like, well, the real world. Now the real world you can't actually be in. You're not allowed to be in the real world. Like, who thought that would happen? Who thought that the only thing you're allowed to have is internet?
What if YouTube shuts down? What if the doors close to the
what
outside?
If life shuts? What if life shuts down instead? Never gonna happen.
I didn't see it coming. I'm literally the only guy
a mile away.
I'm the only one that's kind of happy.
I for one knew that the internet's not going away.
Sure.
When people say that, that's such a weird argument to have. Like, what if YouTube shuts down? I'm like, oh, you mean Google? Google. We're talking about Google, the biggest company on the planet. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, if they shut down tomorrow? If Google shuts down tomorrow,
we got bigger problems.
I think you got bigger problems. I think if Google shut down, which is the biggest, most profitable company in the friggin' world right now, then what about all the other companies? Like, how are they even managing? Like, that's what you really got to be thinking about.
Yeah.
So
I honestly, man, it's I'm with you now. I mean, I kind of always was, but now I'm embracing it fucking fully. And
yeah, and you're making money off it now too.
Yeah.
You're actually making decent money.
Yeah, I haven't made money like this in years since you
had those viral spikes.
Yeah, which was back kind of before YouTube was the way it is now, and and I get so much more joy out of doing this though than before, when you're trying to jam out a video and you're on the road touring and stuff, and then you put it up and then your subscribers are like, it's like once every random blue moon you throw up a video. Like, they don't know, right? Like, you guys now, you can rely, you come and you watch videos, and it's so much better for everybody. I get more joy out of it. People are more interested. Oh my God, it's so much better. And again, I have all these performers hitting me up being like, who edited your videos? I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, me neither. I had to learn it.
Yeah.
And now I'm just getting to a point where I'm like,
did.
oh, these are looking pretty good now. But there's so many that it takes a while, right?
100%.
Like, you self-taught yourself everything, right? Is that how you?
Yeah. From day one, from just taking pictures on my phone was where I really started, and just uploading them to Instagram.
That's crazy.
And learning, composition and exposure and like all the camera features and lighting and color correction. These are just things that, like, over hundreds and hundreds of trial and error, not so, like, you can't look at someone else and ask them what the math is behind why that photo is good, because they'll never be able to explain it to you to a point where you're going to understand and recreate it.
Right.
Like, you have to, like, they can explain to you, you can understand it, but you can never recreate it, just because it takes a certain eye and it takes a certain palette, and that palette has to be developed through time, I think. Like, we understand, like right now, if you're looking at my frame, like, it looks good. Why does it look good? Right? There are no empty spaces. The composition is good. I'm just off here because I'm talking this way, right? So I have to have this more empty. Like, there's all these little things that you can't really put into words, but when you look at it, you get it. And I think doing it, you just start getting it.
Well, that's like why we said to Eric, because you taught me this, and now I teach it to people, is like, how do I get better at YouTube? I'm like, well, first become a fan of YouTube.
Yeah,
watch
definitely
YouTube.
Become a fan.
And because anyone who doesn't watch it, you're never going to excel at something that you don't even like. What the hell are you talking about?
You're oblivious to the audience that you're talking to, is what it is. A lot of YouTubers, dude, they it's so cringe to watch them because they feel so out of touch with what they're doing. You're like, wow, you are out of touch.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea who you're talking to. Like, you don't get it. And it's so blatantly obvious when you see them. And the only reason for that is because they themselves have not watched YouTube. They're not audience members.
100%.
All they want to do is use this platform to make money. And they think that the best way to do that is, hey guys, so today we're gonna be na. Like that's not what YouTube's about, man. Like this isn't TV.
Yeah.
It's a different platform. You gotta kind of like, obviously we're all kind of acting a little bit on
Yeah.
this thing to make it more enjoyable, but you gotta let yourself leak through there, or else people are gonna smell cringe from a mile away.
People say like, oh man, like I can do better magic than that guy. Why is he famous on whatever? And then they do their trick and it gets no views or whatever. And it's like, yeah, because it's not really about that. They like the style it's shot in. They like the personality. They like all these things that you don't know because you don't like it. Like you don't even know you don't even know why people like it. You can't even tell me that. You just go like, I'm better magician. Well, that's not how it works.
Magicians are self-entitled.
Yeah.
They're entitled. They're self-righteous. I'm of the school. If no one likes someone, that's the only one who can do something. No one likes that. No one likes that guy.
Fair.
I'm the only one who can do this. Don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, hey, this is a magic trick, but watch, if I can do this and this, and like, nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a guy pretend he's the only one who can do something. Because that's exactly what it is. You're watching a guy pretend that he's the only one who can do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, how friggin' cringe is that someone has to pretend they're the only ones who could do something to like feel validated. Yeah. That's so cringe, right? Rather than just being like, yo, here we go, boom, you can do it too. Or I learned this from this guy. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But to pretend I'm the only, when we clearly know you're not, that you bought this trick or that you learned it from someone, like, it's so cringe to be like, man, this guy really wants to be validated so badly. And the only people watching that video and being like, that's great, are other magicians.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is,
Oh, okay. That should bring me to this. I wanted to ask. I'm gonna do a couple of Instagram questions, and this one slides right in from Garvin5191. It's quite the name, Garvin. I thought it was Gavin, but there's an R in there. He
somewhere some guy's walking around without an R. There's an Obert walking around, like just sad as hell because he took the R and put it into Gavin.
You say ogre instead of Roger? Is that what that is?
yeah. Obert.
Obert. Oh, Obert. Oh shit! Actually, this is the wrong guy. Never mind. Well, I'll ask this question anyways. He said, "Where in the world would you visit if you could? If there was no COVID right now?" This isn't the question that I was gonna ask, but that's what he said.
Yeah. Where would I visit if I could? Honestly, I don't. Like Italy was nice. I went to Italy a couple of years ago, and I really loved that. Like Northern Italy was beautiful. I think Japan.
Yeah.
I think Japan though is my answer because I've been planning a trip to Japan for 2 years, and just can't. It's a big commitment because it's like a couple weeks out there.
Yeah.
But Japan would be the place. Or Wuhan too. It seems nice, but
that'd be so good. I want to go to Germany, man. I've never been.
Too early.
Wuhan. Oh yeah. Didn't even pick
Actually,
up
you know
on
what's
that,
crazy though is that like poor Wuhan.
Yeah.
Like poor them,
Yeah.
dude. Like they
bad
will
rap.
forever in the history of the world be known as like Bat Soup City.
No,
that's it.
100%.
That's all they're getting known for.
100% they're gonna change their name because no one knows where the fuck
to
it is. So
Bat Soup City, baby. Like
Bat Soup
like.
City.
Like that's all they're known for. Because if you what's shitty about this whole deal is that like I've been watching like documentaries and like short video clips of people who've been to Wuhan, and it is a beautiful, vibrant city. It is like amazing. They have these amazing bridges, the lights. It's just a really beautiful city. It's such a shame that now it's just like, yeah, Bat Soup. That's it. That's all we care about. No one's gonna visit. The tourism in Wuhan is gone down. It's going to stay down forever. It's like Chernobyl. You hear Chernobyl, you're like, wow.
Yeah, but
fuck.
change the name, rebrand, PR. Let's go.
Rebrand.
Right? Like if your name was.
Can you imagine a city just sweeping that all under the rug and being like,
I would.
no, we're different now. We're different now. Yeah.
Like I think you could. I think you could. I don't know.
Definitely. There's like a small tourism office in Wuhan right now, just like. Fuck. What are we gonna do? Like they're definitely the day it hit. They're like, this is it. It's like, do we sell? Do we sell this place? Are we? Think we can start up again? No, definitely not. We can't. It's over, right? It's over. All right, pack up your shit. Like,
yeah.
There's no coming back from that.
Day one, they were like, yeah, we're done.
For that tourism agency there, like they're all
Funny.
they're not even laid off. They're just like the building's been foreclosed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor them.
Yeah.
I feel bad, man. I feel bad for that city specifically because of that. Because their whole history, their community and everything is just completely fucking ruined.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's just something that happened, and then now
exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Feels bad, man.
So that's where Chris is going. If
you know what? Fuck this. When this is all over and everything's back to normal, I'm taking a trip to Wuhan.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'll come.
You'll come?
Oh, sure.
There's so many YouTubers out there right now already lined up just to be like ground zero.
Oh yeah.
Ground zero, like for that clickbait though.
I'll purposely go there to not make a video.
Yeah, just go there.
I'll go there to shut my camera off.
Yeah, you go there and just be like, I enjoy the hell out of Wuhan. It's beautiful.
Funny. Oh man, the question I was gonna ask you, that reminded me earlier, was from Nussbert. I don't know, KNUS. How do you spell that? Nuss.
So many names that you could have instead of that, don't you think?
Yeah. This guy said, because it reminded me of the magic. He said, "Do you have magic on you even when you don't plan on performing? Do you always have some magic on you?"
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to quite a bit. I used to have a deck of cards on me, no matter where I went, at least one. And I had a ring that I'd wear. I had maybe a rubber band. I had a trick in my pocket, like exact change I used to carry around. And now I carry literally nothing.
Yeah.
And not just now because of quarantine, but even before that.
Yeah.
I have my phone. So if ever something comes out, I could do, there's a whole bunch of tricks I can do with my phone.
Yeah.
But
I carry a tiny hand in my pocket if I know I'm going to the bar. Just to be like,
if I'm going to the bar, I'll definitely grab a deck.
Yeah, just for something there, because like with that one, it's not totally not expecting to do magic, because it's going to come up. If someone asks your job, or like in your case, you're like puzzles,
but, like that too. But I mean, I don't carry a puzzle around.
You sure?
I just no, man. I don't know. It's become a thing where I'm very okay
just having a conversation,
and not making the conversation about me. I'm very okay not being the center of attention. I can hold court without a deck of cards if I need to. I can hold court.
Just bullshit.
Yeah, just be the guy who's fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
Without having to resort to performing.
That's fair. Yeah.
But there are times and places where definitely like I see an opportune moment and I'm like, this is gonna be great. People are gonna love this. But again, try not to make it about me and keep it about the people.
Yeah, I've seen you after a couple of drinks where you're a little bit like, let's do some magic.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sure. Hand me that straw.
Hand me that straw.
It's like, Chris, I don't think you're wearing a loop. Nope. See, you're just a guy holding your hands over a straw.
Straw.
I was like, maybe we should cut him off.
Here, this is actually. Danny Garcia used to do this. See if I can do it here. See the straw?
Yeah.
Watch.
He just did that.
It actually kind of works, like here for the camera. You'll get this on camera.
Yeah.
Hold on, right here. All right, so.
No. Well, made for the camera.
No,
for me.
You're gonna see for the camera.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the footage.
Okay, because my angle's terrible. Okay.
So yeah, I've got this big bright light on me, but at night, if you can,
I see
in
what
a bar,
you're saying.
you're wearing black, and then.
That's smart, actually.
Yeah. So that's like just an easy way to.
There you go.
Throw something on the ground.
Danny Garcia, who knew? Of course, that guy would know one.
Yeah. Genius.
Oh man, that was great. How when we were taking our production company to the Magic Castle, like we ended up showing them better magic than we could do. You see Garrett or whatever.
I was like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
we're trying to pitch this
they're
TV
all
show.
Gung ho about our magic show or whatever. That we're like, here, watch a better magician. We're like, wow, this guy.
We bring him to see Garrett, and they're like, that was the best magic I've ever seen. We're like, yeah, maybe this wasn't a good idea.
You know what said to our face over and over? They were so excited. They're telling the people in the MTV how good it was. You're like, yo.
Yeah, how good they were.
Calm down. You should have seen these other guys. Oh my god.
Yeah, I agree with them though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 100% accurate. That's why I was embarrassed the whole time. Oh, that was good.
It's funny when she just called you like the funny guy.
Oh yeah. She
said you were boring at MTV.
Oh yeah. They look at Chris. They're like, Chris, you look cool and you seem cool. You're cool. And they look at me and they're like, well, you're a funny guy. And I'm like,
yeah,
I feel like I could throw a rock and hit 10 of you on the street. I was like, okay. I think you could throw me and hit 10 of me for sure. Not now. I got the sick haircut now, so I'm new.
Like if ever you were looking for Wes and you walked up to a stranger You just say, okay, picture a white guy. And they're doing that, and you're like, that guy. That's him. That's who we're looking for. What do you mean? The first one that you thought of? Him. Do you see him? Oh, he's right there. There he is. Nope. Another same guy. Same guy twice. Oh. Wes is Wes is every extra in Saving Private Ryan. If you look at the background, it's the same guy. It's always Wes. It's just always different Wes's.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. At least I don't get cast as a scumbag in a movie, a horror movie. So how about that? What does that say about you? They're like, wow, we need a real piece of shit.
I'm typecast a piece of shit. I actually played into another feature length. It was an indie, and I was like a Russian human trafficker.
That sounds right.
And then like
that wasn't a documentary.
I always play this scumbag, and then like eventually I just started like looking at it like, why did they cast me as a scumbag? Am I that hateable? And that just really played on my self-conscious right there. I was like super self-conscious about like what I look like to other people. I'm like, I'm not a friendly looking guy at all.
It's kind of crazy because in a Hollywood movie, we're both on opposite extremes, but neither one of us is the leading man. We're both just one friend and the other friend, right? And, and we're like,
I don't know anyone in my life that would be a leading man in a movie.
Yeah, no, me neither. It's crazy that way.
Who would be a good leading man in a movie that we know? You know?
Oof. Yeah, there isn't that. Yeah, nobody.
I don't know. Can't think of one.
No. Yeah, they don't exist. I guess they are all already on TV. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What a weird question.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Move on.
All right, fuck these Instagram questions. We didn't get enough of them this time, I'll say that. But we are filming this like 2 days after the last one, so I'm gonna tell. I never told you guys the from the beginning today the 2 truths 1 lie. I never really told you the true ones about. I got stuck between the border between Vietnam and Laos. Ever tell you the story, Chris?
Was that when they thought you had drugs on you or something?
No. This is even way simpler and way weirder. We're leaving Vietnam and we go, through passport control, and they have to like sort of stamp you out of the country. And we have these like visas for being in Vietnam. And the guy looks at them and he for whatever reason, they're not speaking English. He rips the visas out of our passports and hands us back the passports and carry on. And we're like, oh, that's weird. But I guess they take, I don't know. I guess they take the visas out when you leave. Didn't think anything of it. So we leave, we walk out, and it just goes down this huge gully, like gravel road gully. It looks like an apocalypse movie. And you go up the other side, and then that's where you go through the Laos
like
border.
A checkpoint.
And we walk down, we go up there, and they're like, again, not speaking English, basically saying, you don't have an exit visa from Vietnam. You can't come into our country. And they send us back to the Vietnam one. So we walk back up the gully, and then now these people have never seen us. They're just seeing us approach now because it's like the other guards from the other side. So they're like, where's your visa from Laos? We're like, no, we just came from Vietnam. We're trying to get the thing, and nothing's in English. And they're like, no, you go back Lao now. You go back Lao now. Just screaming at us, got guns and everything. And they get a guy on the phone after I'm standing there. I'm like, so they get a guy to speak English to me on the phone, and he gets on the phone, and all he does is he adds a couple more English words. He goes, listen, excuse me, sir, you go back Lao now. That's all he does. So we walking back and forth trying to get someone to help us. And finally, one of the times up at the Vietnam one, they make a couple other phone calls or stand there 10 minutes. And he's like, now you go, and they let you in. And then finally, but it was like 25 minutes. We thought for sure, we're just like, okay,
scary. We
live here now. No idea.
You're in limbo.
Yeah, and everyone's like,
you're between countries.
Everyone's like, weren't you scared? I'm like, well, I had one last bargaining chip because I was with Kristen.
Just look, I know
it's a terrible joke.
Right?
That's
it's
a terrible
all I
joke.
got.
I'm a horrible person. The other time we actually did run out of gas in the middle of the jungle, but that wasn't too bad. We got went to some farmer and he helped us out. It was scary still because no one spoke English, but ultimately he was really nice.
some poppy farmer. You're like, maybe we shouldn't be here.
He did have a
Why
dog.
are there bear traps everywhere?
Actually, no,
there are no bears here. Why are there bear traps?
This was actually crazy because this guy hooks us up with all this gas, right? He fills our bikes up, both bikes. Tops them up, and I know how much that would cost because we filled up before in the city, right? So I try and give him like twice as much as it's worth, and I'm offering him this money, and he looks at it and he's like offended, and he slams it down the thing and he's screaming, and I can't tell if he's screaming because he wants more money or I've offended him because I'm overpaying. And I don't know the cultural, so I didn't know. And he kept picking up and throwing it down and yelling. And I didn't know. So I just keep handing it to him. We grab our bikes. We're trying to get out of there. And I was so scared. It was weird.
So why was he freaking out?
I'll never know. I think I offended, thinking about it lately, I think I just offended him. I think he would rather have us not paid. I think he was just trying to be a nice person. And he was really just don't pay me. You guys, come on. I'm just helping out. But
in their language, it seemed like...
Yeah. And all of my,
you.
I was already scared and worried, and I felt weird, so I was probably layering on all this fear. It was crazy, man.
You've been to some crazy, travel experiences in your life. I don't think I've ever... Well, I've never been to Asia. I feel like in Asia, there's a lot of, that where the language is so removed from English, and the culture is so removed from, Western culture. Because, in Europe, I feel like... There's a lot more similarities to how we live here, depending on the country, but to how we live here. So, culturally, Germany or Italy or France, there's things I understand. But, as soon as, you're west of that, whether it's, Eastern Europe or Asia, I feel like the cultural differences are so vast and so strikingly different that you literally are walking on eggshells with everything you do. I read up a lot in Japan. There are some things that are just the craziest things that they will not accept. Walking and eating is a big no-no.
Whoa.
Yeah, you got to stand still and eat.
I would never guess that.
Throwing your chopsticks in your rice and sticking them in there.
I've heard about
big
that.
No-no.
It's like
big no-no.
It's fuck you or something. Or death
no, it's death because they do that at funerals.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Also, passing food through chopsticks. They also do that at funerals. So there's all these little cultural things that I would have never... When someone gives you your business card, you have to act like they just gave you the Holy Grail. You're wow, and you have to freak out and keep looking at it and study everything and thank you. You can't just be oh, thanks, man, I'll give you a call. That is the worst. You're spitting in their face because that's an extension of them. So all these little things.
That'd be a fun experiment to run. We go there and you just grab it and put it in your pocket, and I actually spit in their face, and we'll see which one angers them more.
I think either. Probably the spitting, especially in this climate. The spitting in the face would probably be worse.
I'm honestly afraid I'm going to.
I'm surprised. What's that? Go ahead.
I'm honestly afraid I'm going to fill this card again.
I was just going to say I'm surprised no one's robbed a bank so far with Corona.
Oh yeah, right. Everyone's you can't tell.
I feel like that's a headline we're going to Florida man.
You mean because of the masks, or just being I have Corona, I'll spit on you?
Yeah, 100% a sign. I have Corona. Give me your money or I'll spit on you. Florida man robs bank with coronavirus.
Look it up. Maybe
for sure that's coming out. Maybe I've just given the guy an idea.
No, maybe it's already out. Florida man robs bank with
coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Florida man arrested for robbery using cough as weapon. First fucking headline.
Fucking called it. Are you kidding me?
Dead serious, man. And then they said, but the corona disease was not actually used as a weapon, but he threatened to.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, I take my statement
Florida,
back.
baby.
I'm not surprised.
Oh my god.
Of course it's Florida man.
Okay.
I feel like it sounds like I researched that before I said it.
It really did, man. But yeah, if you had Florida, it really changes the game. I got to lay out some 2 Truths, 1 Lie for next week. These are all about Chris. I thought a couple for Chris. Don't answer, Chris. You probably know the answer to this. All right. Before the pandemic happened this year, I saw Chris more than I saw my wife. The camera I used to film these, I took from Chris's office. And I knew Chris before he had a beard. One of those is true. No, 2 of those is true. 1 of those is a lie. Dun, dun, dun.
I almost had to think about which one is it.
It's going to be good. So hit me up in the comments. And already I'm going to be pinning Ari Bisk for winning the vibrator race. You're getting pinned on this one, so write down whatever you want. Write down whatever you want. Tell me how much you like my haircut, maybe. Nope. Okay. No one's going to ever say that. I'm going to get good at cutting my own hair. You'll see. In 2 months, when we're still quarantined, I'll be a pro, and you'll be all shaggy and gross. You frozen?
I'm totally okay being shaggy and gross because you know what? Everybody else is. You just look like the guy who's trying not to be like everybody else and failed miserably.
Yeah, I feel like today I particularly got it wrong.
Yeah, there's no amount of this that's gonna fix it. By the way, just
it makes me feel better.
Doing that. It looks the same.
If it's in motion, you can't tell.
I'm just constantly moving. You can't tell how bad it is.
That's why all my videos are blurry lately. Oh fuck, buddy, this has been great, man. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna fill this card. Thanks for hanging out with me.
I want to do this again. Let's do this again, man.
Anytime, buddy. It's way better than talking to myself. So,
if this gets 1,000 likes, we'll do it. We'll do it again. How about that?
1,000 likes, we'll do it again. That's right out of Chris Ramsay. I love it. I'm in. Remember that time you said that for kicking me in the balls, and then I got like 13,000, and then you kicked me in the nuts? It was great.
Yeah, it was a great time. Do it all over again.
All right, brother. See you soon.
All right.
See you, team.
Take care.
Thanks for coming
Peace.
out. Bye.
Bye.